Thank you for joining me this day, my live broadcast. This is 16th of February 2020, and this is 8:30 p.m. Biafra time. Thank you for joining me. This evening, I'm going to be sharing some vital information as it concerns to the security, collapse of security in Nigeria. Thank you, Esian, for joining me. Ella, thank you for joining me. Uche, my own Uche Akwari, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Emi Okoye, thank you for joining me. Naemeka Smart, thank you. Harry Mwagod, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Anthony Nnamdi, my own Anthony Nnamdi. Anthony Nnamdi, thank you for joining me. Yes, Uche, yes. Chimezie, we are breaking down the Nigeria system. The foundation of Nigeria is going down. As we speak, the foundation of Nigeria is going down, and we will stop at nothing until the foundation of Nigeria is broken into pieces completely. And that is happening as we speak. William Aja, thank you for joining me. Peter, thank you. David Omi, thank you for joining me. Chine Yolugo Obi, thank you for joining me. Good evening, Anthony Atwegu. Anthony Atwegu, my own Anthony Atwegu, thank you for joining me this evening. Franklin Chima Okoye, my own Franklin, thank you for joining me. We'll be waiting for 600 viewers and we start. Antonio Nora, Charles Ochoba, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Ekene Onoha, thank you for joining me. Meg CG, thank you for joining me. 600, here we go. Sorry. You people must have seen what is going on in Nigeria today. Nigeria is going down as we speak. Nigeria has become the mockery capital of the world. International community are discussing Nigeria. Everywhere you go, Nigeria is being discussed. Not because of the economic policy of Nigeria, not because of the global impact, positive impact of Nigeria, but because of bad image of Nigeria. As Nigeria becomes sponsor of terrorists in Africa, in West Africa and Sub-Sahara of Africa, Nigeria sponsoring terrorism, the impact is being felt. And any government in Africa that tells you they are not aware that Nigeria government of the day is the major sponsor of terrorists, then that government is lying and deceiving themselves. Before I go into the business of the day, I would like to tell you one or two things that has happened between yesterday and between this, my last live broadcast, which is early this morning, and this time, this evening of this day. You all must have seen the news making the headline in most of Nigeria newspaper about the statement accredited to the presidency. Because now I don't think Nigeria have president. You know, so it is very important that you people should pay attention to this. When we are referring to president, we'll be calling presidency instead of president. Because as it is now, everything from Nigeria is fake. The president is fake. We don't know his identity. Whether the person is still the Buhari or not, nobody can actually confirm that claim, because only if there is DNA to ascertain whether this man is the real Buhari that you voted in 2015. But Nigeria don't have that DNA. You don't even have a fingerprinting of course, as a former dictator, as a former military dictator in Nigeria, we believe that the fingerprint of this man, or the DNA of this man, should be somewhere. Should be somewhere, having served Nigeria in that capacity in the past, as far back as 83 or in the 80s. We believe that the DNA of the president should be somewhere at least. But now, as we are talking, knowing where Nigeria is, knowing the kind of country we are, the kind of government Nigeria is operating, it is impossible to prove whether we have the DNA of this man somewhere, or whether we have any fingerprint of this man previously taken by any embassy before he was voted in 2015. Because this is the only way we can to ascertain the identity of the present man who is parading himself as the president of Nigeria. So the claim by our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Ohamadike of Biafra land, cannot totally be ruled out, that this man is Jibril from Sudan. So, and international community, to some extent, of course, discussed this claim and this allegation, including in the late night show in New York, in the US. Sometimes they made joke out of this president, claiming when he come to say that he is real. So Nigeria, everything is possible. In Nigeria, everything is possible. Somebody can, you people probably must have heard at least some few analysis and comments to why Nigeria was placed on traveling ban, on visa restriction by the United States of America. It is because of this identity crisis, big identity issue, identity crime by Nigeria, because anybody will come and claim Nigeria because you don't have database, you don't have anything to prove that this person is the person that you voted in 2015 and he is the same person in 2020. There is nowhere you can prove that. But I am giving some people some hints how to prove whether this man is the real Buhari or not. How to prove whether he is real Buhari is by researching to know the embassies he has visited in 2015, because by then there are fingerprinting system in most of these embassies in Europe. Of course, the diplomacy is there. So, as a president of Nigeria, he may not be subjected to the scrutiny of taking fingerprints and all that. So, but however the case may be, the only way is if this man, if the real Buhari fingerprint has ever been taken and documented anywhere, and then we try to know, to take the fingerprint of the correct man parading himself as the president, to be able to ascertain whether this man is real Buhari or not. Why I'm trying to make this analysis and this comment is because Nigeria don't have president, and it is just have to be the logical conclusion that there is no president in Nigeria. So we are making reference, when we mean president, we'll be saying presidency. So presidency is what is the right word to be using henceforth, that the presidency of Nigeria. So presidency comprises of the man who is behind the scene and all the cabals who are there in Aso Rock, like from the Abakare and all of them. Then these people made up what we call the presidency. So we can be using that word to address the Buhari. And of course, most of us who are who are calling him Buhari by name, of course, we are not totally wrong to call him Buhari, because he is an imposter, and the original man that was voted in is called Buhari, and now they are parading him as Buhari. So we are going to be, some one of these days Buhari can be slipping out of our mouth, because he is parading himself as Buhari. So even though he is from Sudan, and nobody has ever come to dispute this allegation by our leader, the leader of Biafra, the leader of IPOB worldwide, the man who saw tomorrow, Nnamdi Kanu, who have done and sacrificed everything, including his mother and his father. And today, he has led this allegation against the giant, once giant of Africa, and nobody is taking it serious because Nigeria is unserious country. Everything in Nigeria is unserious. I don't know why an allegation of this magnitude will come out and people and things are happening. And according to most of the people who know the situation of Nigeria today, will say that there is no way that the Buhari will be alive and what is happening in Nigeria today is happening. Sorry. Another thing is that even if it's Buhari, even if, let us even assume that he is Buhari, of course, what is happening today will still happen because he did not come for the interest of Nigeria. He has agenda. The only agenda he has is the continuation of Usman Dan Fodio in a modern style, modernized Usman Dan Fodio, where non-state actors and state actors will be used to achieve the hostility as were carried out by Usman Dan Fodio and his armies. So it is an Usman Dan Fodio tactics that he has come. So you cannot completely rule out the fact that even he is Buhari, even if he is Buhari, his agenda is not coming to rule Nigeria in a way that Nigeria will become a innovative country and change Nigeria for better. No, the agenda of whoever that is there since 2015 and the agenda, because it is the same people who control the 2015 Buhari are the one controlling the same Buhari now. Another thing is that there is also another allegation from different quarters that this Buhari has undergone what we call face surgery, plastic surgery. There is another allegation of that he has undergone plastic surgery, which is against Islamic faith. It is against Islamic faith for a man, like him, to go to London, use taxpayers' money, and change his face, and then he came out, he became younger and start looking differently than, So there are this different kind of allegation coming from different quarters. But the most important one that is more credible, of course, this allegation is also more credible, but this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu allegation is also very, very credible. That if he is Buhari, they should conduct some kind of forensic examination, like taking fingerprinting of before 2015 and after, when he went to London for this whole medical brouhaha, to know whether it is still the same man. But that is by the way. So what I'm trying to establish by telling these stories, what I've just told now, is that we don't longer say Nigeria president. I'm trying to establish the justification for this assertion I am about making today, or I'm about to make today, that Nigeria no longer have president. What they have in Nigeria is presidency. So this is why I'm telling this story before I start to tell you why I'm telling this story and all that. So the story I've just told you now, all this little analysis in brief I've just told you now, is to justify the fact that from now we will be referring to president of Nigeria as presidency, because there is no president. If you can't have a president in a country and Nigeria security system is down and nobody is doing anything. President of a country cannot come to say he is surprised that Boko Haram is still killing people. So it means that he don't listen to news, he don't listen to, even though they have caged the media, or maybe the people in the presidency are not giving him newspapers, or maybe he is not reading newspaper. Elom EU Lampe, thank you for joining me. Or maybe he is not reading newspapers. It can be possible that he's not reading newspapers, because there is no, if he is reading newspaper, at least even though they try to cage all the media, all the mainstream media in Nigeria, some newspapers are still reporting most of the killings by Boko Haram and most of the attacks by Boko Haram. And so it is really surprising. It means that either he is not reading the newspaper, or that they are not giving the newspaper to him, or that they are not giving the newspaper that has all those killings. Because how can a president come to say in Nigeria that we are today, that everybody is, even we that are not in Nigeria, will know what is going on in Nigeria, and the president of a country who is commander-in-chief of the armed forces, number one security officer of a country, comes to say that he is very surprised. He is very surprised, which means we don't have a president. Because the killings of Boko Haram has continued since 2015, and there is never a break. Even when the army came to say it has been technically defeated, it was because of they were able to win the media war. They were able to cage everybody. It is because of us, people like us, who have come now to start to expose them. That is why some media houses are picking up courage to toe that line to some extent. Otherwise, the Nigerian media has been, was caged. And now, but of course, now it is turning to a different thing. So let me go straight to the business of today. I am continuing the awareness, because a lot of people, most of you who are saying we are talking too much, every day we are talking. Yes, we are doing something that has never been done. Because when you are dealing with Africans, you need to know exactly the tactics that you have to use as an African to be able to breach the jinx that is within the African mentality and the Western mentality, and what you are trying to let people understand. You need to do a lot of talking. We need to do a lot of talking. It has never been done before, and that is why a lot of people are so in a hurry. They are so uncomfortable. They tell you talk too much, you talk too much. Yes, we are talking too much, and those things doesn't push us, because we know exactly, before we come out to start doing this, we know that a lot of you will come and say you are talking too much. So we know, and we have what we call shock absorber. We are absorbing the pressure you are putting us to prematurely take the action physically. So we are absorbing those pressure that every time you come to say, you people are talking too much, we need action, we need action. We don't, it is not the time. We have done, the mistake has been made in the 60s, where a lot of awareness were not created, where people were not, lectured to know why they must leave Nigeria, or why they must fight alongside with Biafra and all that. And that is the reason why a lot of people of Biafra are regretting not joining to fight Biafra in the 60s. Compared to when you see what is happening today, a lot of people who fought against Biafra must be regretting it. And because if there had been some kind of talking that we are doing today, because we are winning souls, until we win the number of souls that will be now ready to disintegrate Nigeria. And that is happening very drastically, not even from our preaching, but from the events, from the issue, from the things that are happening in Nigeria, coupled with the preaching that we are doing now, the awareness we are creating now, trying to let people think towards the direction of where these things that are happening, and they can begin to think and critically analyze things on their own. And that is what is making the difference. So you can understand that the momentum of this agitation today is totally different from what you have seen before. The momentum, the agitation for Nigeria disintegration, the Biafra have gathered internationally, is something that has never happened before. And that is because of this awareness. Because as we are creating this awareness, talking, people in high places, somewhere all over the world, are watching. If they don't watch my own, they watch somebody else. And they don't need to watch my video every day. But they are coming across my videos. They are coming across our videos. They are coming across video of other people and all the atrocities going on in Nigeria. And that is why the things that has never happened in Nigeria, in the international community, is happening today. That is why there is Nigeria is in number 3 in terrorist list. Nigeria is supposed to have been in number 1, even if what is going on there is being reported as they happen. Nigeria would be number one, because I don't think anywhere in the world today that human life are being wasted like in Nigeria. No, not even in Afghanistan, not even in Iraq, not even in Syria. Sorry, not even in Syria, you know. So Nigeria is a country that, as I'm talking to you today, is supposed to be the number one. And I believe that as time goes on, even before this Biafra, before the disintegration of Nigeria, Nigeria will attain number one list in terrorist countries. Honestly, it is going to happen, and it is going to happen. Everybody, all of you will be alive to see it happen. So, I have told you about Soviet Union, that nobody ever believed that Soviet Union would disintegrate. I told you about 15 countries came out of Soviet Union. I told you the reason why they disintegrated. It is because of the same it is because of this similar crisis that is going on in Nigeria now, that Soviet Union disintegrated, and Nigeria is even worse than what happened in Soviet Union. Now, I also told you about Yugoslavia, that Yugoslavia disintegrated, and nobody ever believed that Yugoslavia will ever disintegrate. Just like some people are not believing that Nigeria will ever disintegrate. But Yugoslavia have almost the same problem like Nigeria, but Nigeria problem is even more compelling, is even more than what happened in Yugoslavia and Soviet Union combined. You know, and Yugoslavia disintegrated in 1993 or so. And today, the countries that came out of Yugoslavia, they are all enjoying themselves. The country is booming, and people are selling property from Africa to go there. But those times when they were going through what Nigeria is going through now, they never believed that they are going to disintegrate. So, sorry. The difference here is that in the West, people think and reason differently. So, of course, it was not easy to them, but the mentality of people in the West is different than mentality of people in Africa. And that is why we are doing this talking. Because tell me, if Africa is thinking positively, are we supposed to come to start preaching this? We are not supposed to come to start. This preaching is a very difficult task. We are not supposed to come to start to tell you what you are living inside, what you are living in, what you are the victim. Because I am not the victim. I am not the victim. I can decide to forget everything Africa. I am not the victim. But you people are the victim. So it is really very awkward, very awful that we are the one to preach you that is a victim of something, to be able to realize that you are a victim. And to be able to know that even when you are complaining, and then we have to now tell you that you are the victim of this thing, and if you do it like this, it will be better for you, not for me. And then we will be preaching and preaching and preaching, and you are expecting us to talk, and when things is happening, only after a lot of things has happened, then you will begin to believe what we, who are not there, are telling you. It is really very, it is something that is really unimaginable. That you are in Africa, you are in Nigeria, and you are direct victim of what is going on, and you are expecting that we have to preach to you until you realize that you are the victim. You know, so during this time of this Yugoslavia and all these people, of course, they have different mentality. Everybody is feeling it. So I don't think anybody is somewhere. Of course, most of the freedom fighters probably went to exile, but, you know, nobody was somewhere preaching to them because they were victim, direct victim. So you people are victim of what Nigeria, of the failure of the collapse of Nigeria, the collapse of security system in Nigeria. You are direct victim, you know. So now, sorry, because I have some cough. So today, I'm going to be telling you people about the disintegration of Czechoslovakia. The disintegration of country called Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia was a country just like Nigeria, and then they had this war. They have this inter-period war. They have this Cold War and all that. Just like what is going on in Nigeria today. Or even more, Nigeria, like I said, you can't compare Nigeria to anything that has led to disintegration of any country in the world. Nigeria is topping the list. No, not in Nigeria. There is nowhere in the history of the world that what is happening in Nigeria now has ever happened, and they disintegrated. So from this country, you get Czech Republic, and then you get the Slovakia. And today, these two countries, they split into two because of this war and because of this crisis. And now they are progressing. They are doing well. And then in my yesterday live video, somebody was making comments about why Igbos want to drag Niger Delta into Biafra. That it is ethnic, that I was telling them that Yugoslavia break into ethnic group. It was never ethnic group. It was never into ethnic group. So in case if that person is watching, the person should know it was not ethnic group. The point is that you have to break, the country have to break into regional lines. It is not necessary that it has to be one ethnic group. No. Because of course, I'm not surprised the person or most of those kind of people that think like that don't know anything about history. They don't read history. They don't know anything. So if a country is 2 million, the person will look at it at 2 million people, which means that it is one ethnic group. No. When you see that a country is 2 million, it doesn't mean that it is one ethnic group that made up that 2 million. No. They have differences within themselves. Even Finland, Finland is how many million? They fought war. They fought civil war within Finland. And there are people they call the whites and all that. So it is not about the ethnicity. But now, I want to let people understand something. Issue of Biafra, for example. We are talking about a region that have same kind of mentality. Same kind of thinking. You don't necessarily have to be one ethnic group. It is impossible to see a country where you have one ethnic group. No. But the point is that you have to have the ethnic group that have the same culture with you, that have the same thinking with you, that have the same reasoning with you, that are progressive minded with like other people. So these are the things that makes the difference. For example, now, are you telling me now that the Igbos and Yorubas cannot make up a country? Igbos and Yoruba can make up a country because they have this progressive mind. The whole southern Nigeria can divide into two, the north and the south, and the southern Nigeria will be more better than the Nigeria. Southern Nigeria as a country will be more better than Nigeria. But of course, we are looking at Biafra because we want to really feel that home, that we have our Biafra and we have the same culture with the same thing, everything the same. And when we are talking about Niger Delta, we have Igbo speaking people part of Niger Delta. And we have Igbo State, which is part of Niger Delta. So when we are talking about Biafra, some people who don't understand the concept of this whole thing, especially from the Niger Delta, from the so-called South as they call it, will be coming to tell us that, oh, you want to drag us Igbo this, Igbo that. Forgetting that it is all about win-win. It is win-win. It is the progressive mindset that matters here. It is not about religion. We are not dragging religion with anybody. We are not religious people. Igbo people are not religious. We are only very progressive ethnic group. So if any place we are and there is no progress, you will not see Igbo man there. There is this saying in Igbo land. Any place you go and you don't see Igbo man, just leave there. Because there is no road. There is no progress there. Any place you go in this world and you don't see Igbo man, know that place there is no progress. So it is just what Igbos are known for. We are only progressive. We are not interested in anything, any other thing other than being progressive and positive mind and or innovative and all that. That is what Igbos are known for. So this Niger Delta that are always saying Igbo, and they are thinking that it is the oil. All these countries that I'm mentioning now don't have oil. None of this country. Even the Soviet Union have oil. The Soviet Union have oil. And 15 countries broke out of Soviet Union. Even with the oil they have. And that oil is being controlled by Russia today. But they left the oil because they have a better life and can progress and prosper than focusing, and because of oil they stick with Russia or with the Soviet Union. They broke away and dashed oil to Russia. So none of these countries have oil. So now, this Czech Republic in 1993 separated from this Czechoslovakia, and there are 10.6 million people in number, population. 10.6 million. And that is even high compared to other countries. Then Slovakia also is 5.4 million people. So you can imagine the gap between this country that divided into two. You can imagine the gap. This is what we are talking about. You can imagine the gap. The other one is 10.6 million. The other one is 5.4 million. You see? And none of this country have oil. None. And they are doing very well. Because the people who are competent are leading the country. People who are competent, not somebody who will come and say this one is integrity, he never embezzled money. Is that a criteria? Is that a criteria to be a president in Nigeria? The criteria to be a president in Nigeria now is that the person is not corrupt. That is a criteria. And that is a very bad precedence. That the criteria for voting this man who is Buhari from the north is that he is not corrupt. That is criteria. And nobody think about innovative part of it. Nobody think about policy. Nobody think about leadership quality. Nobody think about competency. Nobody think about any other thing other than his integrity is high. And today, will you even say that there is integrity in that man? There is no integrity. There is no integrity in that man. We Igbos saw it. We know him, that this man is a chameleon, that this man, a tiger, a leopard can never change its skin. We told Nigerians and they never believed because the warning was coming from Igbos. Just like I'm warning you people now, I'm trying to tell you people, and because some people will not like what I'm saying now only because it is coming from an Igbo man. But they know that what I'm saying is the truth. And they know that what I'm saying now have worked. It has worked in Soviet Union. It has worked in Yugoslavia. It has worked in Czechoslovakia. It has worked in Ethiopia and Eritrea. Although I'm coming to Africa because, of course, I will make references and tell a little bit history about this European before I go to Africa. But it has worked. And they don't want to listen because they know the fact, but because it is coming from Igbo people. Because if for example, that the North now is demanding this breakup of Nigeria, everybody will listen. If not, begin today say we want to separate from Nigeria, everybody will begin to listen because it is coming from the North. But now an Igbo man is telling you Yorubas, Igbo man is telling you all the South, Igbo man is telling you even the Igbo people that this is what have worked for other people who are in the same situation, who were in the same situation just like Nigeria of today. And they separated and it worked for them. But you will say, oh, it is coming from Igbo person. And that is bad. But you will come to the point you will agree with that Igbo person. And you will swallow your pride. Because the situation will compel you to swallow your pride and agree to this Igbo person that is talking. At a point, you will swallow your pride, including even this Nigeria government will swallow their pride. You see what is happening now? I'm so sorry because of this. What? Because I'm talking too much these days. So Nigerian government will at a point be begging for disintegration. There will be, because there will be begging and making offer, and that time we will not be interested in offer. But now offer is possible. There is possibility to come to round table and discuss a peaceful dissolution of Nigeria, so that every region will be carried along. But it will come to a point they will call for that dissolution of Nigeria, and nobody will be interested. Yoruba people will not be interested. Yoruba will want what they want. Igbo people will not be interested. Igbo people want what they want. Middle Belt will not be interested. Middle Belt will want what they want, and that opportunity will not be there. It is coming to that point. You people must have read what T.Y. Danjuma said. I'm not going to read it, but most of you must have read the latest T.Y. Danjuma, what he has to say about Nigeria military. Is there anything different? What all these people are saying today, is there anything different from what Simon Ekpa have been saying since last year? Is there anything? And I have been calling that the only thing left now, and any day it starts, that is the end of Nigeria. The only thing left now is that Nigeria Senate, Nigeria House of Representatives, begin to debate the compromised security system of Nigeria. Any day they begin to discuss this, which is, they are coming to discuss it because it is a must that they are running away from discussing it. They are running away and running around the bush, but they are coming to discuss it in the red chamber. And any day they start to discuss it, that is the end of Nigeria. Because as of today, Nigeria's security is compromised. You have Boko Haram members, you have terrorists serving in Nigeria army, and there is no day I will make live broadcast without saying this, because this is the fact. And after we shout this thing for many months, nobody want to talk. Today, governors in Biafra land, in south of Nigeria, are talking. 2 governors now have accused the military. Not only that, the governor from the south, from the Biafra land, are talking. Northern governor have accused military. The Borno state governor have publicly accused military of complicity. So what are we talking about? And this is the thing that we have been talking for many months. We have been talking and shouting and saying that Nigeria military has been compromised. Nigeria military is being controlled by Boko Haram bandits and criminals. And some people know the truth, but they are afraid because of the state actor that will come after them. But it has come to a point that no governor want to keep quiet. Now, I want to tell you people something. In Anambra State, Fulani people, according to them, were killed, about 4 of them. And according to them, they claim that the cows were killed or cows missing. As I'm talking to you today, they arrested community leaders. In Anambra State, they arrested community leaders. And these community leaders that were arrested were only protecting the land, protecting women, protecting children. But in these communities, they have killed women, they have raped children, they have killed men, they have destroyed farmland, they have destroyed everything that they cultivated in their land. And no Fulani ever has been arrested in Anambra State. Or have you seen anywhere where a Fulani was arrested in Anambra? The governor of Anambra once said, if you kill 1 cow, you will pay 500. If Fulani kill 1 human being, they will pay 500,000. A governor. And sometimes, like I said, I promise myself, I'm not going to insult any governor or any top politicians in Biafra land. I'm not going to insult anybody. But it is heartbreaking. And that Anambra State governor never attended all this security meeting in the southeast until just last week he attended. He has always been sending the deputy to represent him. The thing he is doing, nobody knows. He is always sending the deputy to go and represent him. Like this, his own I don't care has no part two. And today in Anambra, the leaders of communities were arrested in Anambra State. And as I'm talking to you today, they are languishing with criminals, with kidnappers, with hardened armed robbers in the same cell. That is the highest insult you can give to Igbo people. The highest insult. The highest insult is that you arrest a community leader, even according to the even traditional rulers. The highest insult you can give to Igbo is arresting the community leaders and throwing them inside cell. Police CID cell where you have criminals who carry guns and kill and rob people. That is the biggest insult. And this is happening. This is happening in 2020 in Biafra land, in Anambra State. So those of you who are close to governor of Anambra State, because everything, they say there is something they call law of karma. What goes around comes around. The governor of Anambra State, for those of you who are close to him, should tell him that the gods are angry. The gods of Biafra are angry. Let him not wait until the wrath of God fall upon him, and it will fall. The wrath of God will fall not only upon him. The wrath of God is going to be falling upon this Biafra, upon the politicians, upon the leaders in Biafra land, who have seen the impending danger that is about to befall Biafra land, and they are playing politics with it. The wrath of God, the wrath of Biafra land, the wrath of the gods will be befalling on these leaders. The leaders that see what is going to happen, because all of them, I believe, even though I believe that all the governors have what we call security reports. They receive what we call security reports. And they know exactly, they may not know what we know. Like I have said yesterday, we know a lot. And we will not tell everything we know. They may not know as much as we know when it comes to security and intelligence reports on Biafra land. They don't. I am beating my chest today to tell you who are watching this video that IPOB, Biafra agitators, we know more than the chief security officers of all the states in Biafra land and across Nigeria. I am beating my chest to tell you that we know we have more intelligence reports than even the police. But let me stop here. Now, you know that Nigeria is going down. You know that there is an impending danger coming to Biafra land. You know that they are about to attack Biafra. And what you do is to begin to do consultations. The governors of Biafra land are now playing what the old Yorubas played against Biafra, which is the reason why we are where we are today. And it is time we call on them. We call on them to come back from that path they are taking. It is dangerous. We are talking that we have a new generation of Yoruba, and now we are uniting with Yorubas to make sure that Nigeria is disintegrated. And you, the Biafran governors, you, the governor from Biafra land, are taking a different path because you have been enticed with some bogus position in Nigeria when you know that you can't even, they cannot even allow you to use that position to do anything. Have you not seen what they did to Yorubas? Have you not seen what they did to Tinubu? Have you not seen it? Let me tell you people's story. Because Nigerians, you people forget things very easily because of hunger. Even those who are rich in Nigeria are suffering. Nobody, even though, like those who have money in Nigeria, they are all suffering. Nobody, the sufferness of a rich man in Nigeria is worse than the sufferness of those who are not rich. This is the fact. Because the richer you are in Nigeria, the more suffering you are suffering. Believe me, you people don't know this. Now, Tinubu, what they did to Tinubu after 2015, in case all of you have forgotten, Tinubu played the major role in bringing Buhari, not just bringing Buhari as president, but making him to win the ticket for APC. Everybody preferred other people from the north. Kwankwaso, for example. But Tinubu single-handedly decided that they need Buhari. Now, Buhari won that election according to, he didn't win the election. And as you can see today, I don't need to tell you, everybody who participated in that miscarriage of democracy, in that miscarriage of justice, they have all paid their price today. Everybody. If you mention one person who participated in cooking Buhari into coming to power in 2015, mention one person that have not paid the price. All of them have paid the price. And some people are still paying it today. Even those who are working with him, they have paid the price. All of them, they are paying the price. After that election, Tinubu was sidelined. If you believe, if you don't, at least the people that are the caucus of APC knows what I'm about to say. After 2015, immediately Buhari was sworn in, Tinubu was sidelined. So they sidelined Tinubu and they begin to have issues with Tinubu camp and Buhari camp. And that issues they are having is they are still having it today. So Tinubu was completely sidelined. At a point, Tinubu, wanted to come publicly to start condemning Buhari, but because of the hand is very tight, he couldn't do that. And then as the thing goes halfway, the heat was so high between Tinubu camp and Buhari's camp house. But what happened? Immediately, during the time they have to start another campaign for this 2019, they started going close to Tinubu again. And what baffles me was that even Tinubu, accepted this man again. That really surprises me. They approached Tinubu after they have shown him in the first tenure. They played Tinubu like football in the first tenure of this. The first tenure of this man, they used Tinubu to play football. Tinubu was not only sidelined, insulted by the administration, but immediately they wanted to start campaign. They went to Tinubu again. And a lot of promises were made. And that was how Tinubu now picked up the courage again and started talking in favor of this government. Let me tell you something also. That during the time when when they were forming this coalition, when they were forming the coalition that formed APC today, when they were forming that coalition, the people that Tinubu carried along had an agenda. The agenda they had was that they are looking to reposition themselves for a possible breakup and a possible actualization of Oduduwa Republic. What I'm telling you now is something that is fact. And everybody who is part of this planning, hearing me today, will be wondering, how did this information get to me? Now, after that planning was reviewed to the Northern Group, and this plan was reviewed to the Northern Group in good faith. In good faith. What the Northern Group did to Tinubu now, and when you see that they are still together, they are not together. When you see that what is happening now is what happened in the 60s. Almost the same thing in a different way, from a different context. Now, immediately, Buhari took over the power. What the North did against Tinubu was that the North made sure that Tinubu and his group were not given breathing space. And that was how the North, these Fulani people now, decided to push in drastical and very radical way the agenda of this Fulani that you are seeing today. That agenda, this agenda of Islamization of Nigeria that you are seeing today, very openly like this, and that you are seeing today being pushed with all force today, is as a result of the meeting what they have with Tinubu camp. And that was how they made sure that they didn't give Tinubu any breathing space. And they had no other choice than to play along for survival. For survival. So what these Fulani people did was to map down a strategy to hold Nigeria. And that is why you see in every sector of the economy, because they don't trust the Igbos, they don't trust the Yorubas anymore. Even election today is not being conducted. Election, Nigeria, there is no election you conduct in Nigeria today that will be by voting. You see this Buhari, you see this man in Aso Rock. If Nigeria, if not what we are doing now to break Nigeria, which we are going to break Nigeria, if we keep quiet now, that we say, okay, let Nigeria continue. You see this man, Niaso Rock, he can be life president, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. Because they will use hostility, they will use war, they will use intimidation to make sure they change the constitution and continue to make him to stay, and there is nothing anybody can do. They will use terror. They will use terror to make in fact, they will use terror, and you will be even telling this man to continue as a president. And nothing will happen. Or are you saying that it has not happened? A lot of things that they have done against the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Did anything happen? Nothing will happen. Because everybody or nobody want to die. In this, all these senators, nobody want to die. All the House of Representative members, nobody want to die. Because all of them are afraid. If you talk, they will kill you. And if you don't, they will kill you if you talk. So this man you see, if he want to be life president, and it is not what the Biafrans and some Yorubas are waking up now, you believe me, he will come third term. Not only third term, he will make himself life president. It has happened in other African countries. And Nigeria is not an exception. It has happened. And even in those countries, the problem is not even as complex as Nigeria. It has happened. And it is going to happen in Nigeria if we stop. But the good news is that we are getting Biafra Republic. That is the good news. And it is happening faster than even we expected. That is the good news. So all hope are not lost. Nigeria is disintegrating. And today, let me not go deep into this Tinubu thing or what happened between them. I don't want to go deep because it is time to heal the wound. I don't want to go deep because if I go deep now, a lot of Yoruba will get angry. Not at me, but at Tinubu camp, because a lot has gone wrong. And today they have seen it. I don't know, of course, it is the Yorubas have seen it. How many days did it take Tinubu to come and make comment on Amotekun? It was after pressure, and talk. In fact, people were even talking openly in media, in mainstream media. What has Tinubu made comment until he came to make comment? And even that comment was under duress. So I don't want to go deep into that. We are in good terms with the new generation of Yoruba. We are now back, and we have changed, not just changing the history, but the lies and propaganda that were told against Igbos to Yorubas and against Yorubas to Igbos. This generation is new generation, and whatever happened in the 1960s is in the past. And nobody living today that were part of them in the 1960s. We have new blood in Yoruba land, we have new blood in Biafra land, and we are changing the narrative of yesterday. And that is why we are in support of Yoruba. And whatever anybody is telling you that Yorubas are saboteurs, Yoruba are the cheat and stuff like that, or that Igbo is this, Igbo is that, this new generation are different. And we will change that history, and we are changing it, and it is happening in your present. But now, the governor of Biafra land must make sure that these traditional rulers, that these community leaders that were arrested in Anambra State, nothing happens to them. The Biafra we are agitating is unique. It's something that it's something that nobody has ever seen. What we are going to be doing and what will happen in Biafra. It is Igwebike. Nothing must happen to these traditional rulers or these community leaders that were arrested in Anambra and thrown in a CID cell for them to rot. And it is an insult on we, the Igbos, that you arrest traditional rulers or community leaders over killings of Fulani herdsmen who are criminal. It is the same thing like those criminals that you are arrested and put in the CID cell where you put these community leaders. That they go and rob somebody, and the person self-defends himself, and along the line kill them. Will you go there and tell the person who is defending himself against armed robbers who are heavily armed? Are you going to now arrest that man or those people and put them to the prison that they have killed human beings? Are you not aware? Are you not? This is the reason why we are telling the governors in the south is that this security, this policing, this community policing is dead on arrival. We can never accept it so long as it will be supervised by police. Because what you see happening now, that they are arresting community leaders in Biafra land, is small. This is even a child play to what they are going to do in Biafra land when they finally have you in community police, supervised by Nigeria police, supervised by Fulanis who will come from the north and become commissioner in Biafra land. So community police is dead on arrival. And we are telling the Biafran, the governor in the southeast of Nigeria, we are telling you people that you are crossing the red line. You are crossing the red line to bring the disunity that were caused in 1960s when Ojukwu, the issue between Ojukwu and Awolowo. You are tolling that path, which is very dangerous for the existence, for the continual existence of Ndibo. The governors of Igbo land are tolling that dangerous path now. And you are tolling that dangerous path in the sense that Yoruba people have come publicly to declare Amotekun. They fought against the power that be publicly. And these are the people you say they don't have balls. They don't have brain. They are too afraid. This is what most of you, the governors, are saying. That Yoruba people cannot decide on anything. Yoruba people cannot do this. Yoruba people cannot do that. Today, this is why we are saying we are dealing with the new generation of Yoruba. Of course, you people cannot see it because you have been beclouded by Nigeria corruption. You have been beclouded by Nigeria mentality. You can't think because we are seeing far. We have liberated ourselves from the slave and the jinx of being Nigeria. And that is why we are thinking differently. And that is why our brain is working. And that is why we are seeing things even before they happen. Because we don't think like Nigeria. And because you, as a governor in Biafra land, are thinking like Nigeria, you do not see the Yorubas of this generation, that they are different. And because we are in darkness, but we shout and open their eye, and they have seen the danger that we are shouting about, and they know that we are genuine, and that we are not trying to fool them. And that is why they're listening to most of the shouting we are shouting, and today it is working out. And you, after you see Yoruba people setting up indigenous security outfit, backing it by the governors, not only that the governors backed it, we told them that the Fulanis will come and they will unleash mayhem on them, and that if they set up this security outfit, that the Fulanis are going to come, and the presidency came, the Fulani Meyete Allah came, all of them from the north, they came and started condemning. The police IG, everybody, they came, they fought against this Amotekon. Yoruba governors who are the new generation of Yoruba, they stood behind this Amotekon, they stood their ground that nothing will make them align with anything federal government. And today they have Amotekon. They bought cars, security vehicles, and well-funded, and they inaugurated this Amotekon. Not only that, after that, the IG, the Attorney General of all the states in Yoruba land, came together and enact some kind of law, or giving a kind of mandate or some kind of resolution that they will be allowed to carry firearm. Now, not only that, they will be allowed to carry firearm. After that, the Speaker of House of Representatives, which is a Yoruba man, also called a security meeting, and they didn't honor it. And then after that, he has constituted a committee to review Nigeria Constitution to allow indigenous security outfit in Nigeria. From the House of Representatives, from the National Assembly, the Speaker of the House of Representatives came and constituted a committee for constitutional review to enable every region to have indigenous security outfit, giving you, the governors, the power to institute your own security outfit. And you are not, or are you people not aware of this? And then after not even after the House of Representatives Speaker made this decision, you people begin to, because everything you are doing in Biafra land, in your security meeting, I am there live. Because every information, every single word any governor say in their security meeting in Southeast, I have them. That is how far we have gone. Every single thing you say in that security meeting, governor of Ebonyi State, governor of Enugu State, the deputy governor, where the deputy governor represented the Enugu State, Abia State, Imo State, every single thing anybody said in your security meeting, not the one you have on record. I am telling you, everything you said, Simon Ekpa have them. Every single word. And I'm not saying it hiding that maybe your next security meeting, you will try to beef your security so that You don't know where the information is coming from. But I'm telling you, there is nothing you can do about it. We are on ground. That is how far we have gone. So when you people were making all these things, everybody was thinking that you are going to come up with something similar to Amotekon and don't deviate to now breach what Yoruba people have started. And that is the line you are toying now, and it is a very dangerous one. Because we don't want you to be the one that will bring another disunity between Igbos and Yorubas. And you are already toying that line. This policing, community policing, must not be allowed in Biafra land. If you don't want, because the point is that all of you have investment in Biafra land, all of you, the governors. And when this thing happens, when this rain that is going to fall, when it will start falling, it will fall on your roof. You know, when rain is falling, it doesn't know who is poor and who is rich. The rain will fall on the roof of the rich and it will fall on the roof of the poor. And you as a governor, the rain will fall on your roof. So the decision you are making today concerning security of people in Biafra land must be in line with what Southwest has done. If you don't want to regret ever being a governor in Igbo land, because it is time, the time is coming when you will regret. If you do not follow, this is not a threat. But the time is coming when you will regret not doing according to the will of people. It is not you. You are a governor. You have been voted in by people of your state. You are not your people. The people of your state are not serving you. You are serving the people of your state. You are serving them. You are serving them. And any decision that has to do with security, you must seek the consent and the approval of the people who voted you. And you see today the outcry in Igbo land. You don't need to conduct a referendum to know as a governor what is the outcry in Igbo land. The outcry in Igbo land is that nobody wants community policing. What we want in Igbo land is an indigenous security outfit just like the Yorubas. And now you are betraying Yoruba. When you, as a governor of Biafra land, should be taking the lead. That is what Igbos are known for. We are not cowards. You should be taking the lead and others follow. But today it is going vice versa, which makes it very surprising. The governors we have in here, I don't know where this problem, you know, whatever this misconception or whatever that is happening between you people, it is time you solve it very urgently, because you are disappointing us. Nobody can even imagine that the governors will have security meeting and you come and start talking about community policing. When this Yoruba people, the former military head of state, IBB, he said, if he wakes up from sleep, or if he's sleeping, they come to wake him up and say, Yorubas are beating the drum of war. Or that some people are beating the drum of war, and he will ask who. They say Yorubas, he will go back to sleeping. And he was actually referring to the old Yoruba. We are dealing with new generation of Yorubas, and they have proven IBB wrong. So that quote by IBB is an outdated quote. I am making that pronunciation today, their pronouncement today. That the quote of IBB, and I am begging and appealing to every Igbo sons and daughter, it is time you stop making references to IBB quotes on Yoruba. It is an outdated quote. The Yoruba of today are new generation of Yorubas. They have proven IBB wrong. And the Igbo people, not Igbo people because we are not cowards, but the governors, The governors of Biafra land must be able to live up to the expectation of Biafrans. You should be able to have the balls. Anybody who knows all of them should send my videos to them. That this is what Biafrans are demanding. We don't accept community policy. They must not insult the Igbos by trading the security of life and properties of Igbos for political position. They must not do that. They know what Igbos can do. When we start something, we don't go back. That is one that everybody knows that. If we begin to carry gun today for this Biafra, there is no going back. And I think they should know that. Anything Igbos put their hand on, there is no going back. We will do it and do it more than anybody. Better than anybody. And they must not push us too far. They must not push us too far. This freedom we are fighting today, everywhere in the world, people fought for freedom. It is not a crime. People fought for freedom. It is not a crime. It is not a crime to fight, especially with the setting of Nigeria today. It is not a crime for people to agitate and fight for their freedom. It is not a crime. It is not a crime anywhere in the world. But the governors must not push the agitators of Biafra too far. Because we want you people to follow. Now it is follow, which is even shameful, to follow Yorubas, what they are doing. Because if Simon Ekpa is the governor in Biafra land today, believe me, I will not be ready to take any shit from anybody. I'm sorry to use this word, but it has come to that point. So be a man and be the chief security officer of your state by adopting indigenous security outfit. Even the House of Representatives have already set up a committee for constitutional review. What are you doing again with presidency? What are you doing again with Inspector General of Police? You have already a model to take from Yoruba land, since people have been so reluctant and so lackadaisical to doing this security thing. You copy from Yoruba, just adopt there. And when somebody came and when the northern governor came and started talking, you started claiming that you started it before Yoruba people. Is it what you started before Yoruba people is community policing? That is disappointing. The governor of Ebonyi State, they released a statement. The statement is still there. That is contrary. What is happening now is contrary to the statement accredited to Ebonyi State governor. Ebonyi State governor said, they said through the commissioner of information also, said that when somebody from the north is making reference, that the person was referring to the southeast governors, the security outfit. That it was what they started. They have gone far. And then all of a sudden there is this twist when Nigeria police issue a statement for community policing. And then what you have gone far, according to you, all of a sudden you are having a U-turn to start discussing with Nigeria police. For what? If you have gone far in your security outfit meeting and all that, and then Yorubas inaugurated their own, all of a sudden in rush and because they see the danger. And then immediately they inaugurated it, all the Fulanis are flying left and right. And then all of a sudden, the police, because of the inauguration of Amotekon, they circulated letter to all the 36 states claiming that they want community policing. And then you abandon the thing that you claim that to have gone far. And then you are now talking about community policing. That doesn't make sense to anybody. So we cannot accept any community policing because the community policing is still under Nigeria police. And if Nigeria police can fail from protecting the life and property of people, they are going to fail again. So what we need is indigenous security outfit. And that is the beginning of disintegration of Nigeria. And there is nothing you can't run away from that. It is a fact. Nigeria will be disintegrated, and the things that are going to be happening will compel you people to adapt and agree to this. I want to tell you also one thing. You have seen also the news about what the presidency said. You know that people have been killed in Katsina State, or is it what is it called? Is it Katsina or is it Katsina? Katsina State is where the president come from, and in this state where the president come from, like I've said, they don't have general hospital in this state. In this state where the president come from. Now, the state also has been ravaged by this bandit. Bandits are killing people every day, raising these Hausa people, the one who are called Hausa, who are yet to be, because what they want to do, the Fulani want to wipe out all the normal Hausa in this case, where he come from. That is the point. They want to take over the entire state. Otherwise, you will be asking me, a place where the president come from, why is the crisis? Why is the killing going on there? Are people not asking the question? You people are not asking, Nigerians are not asking this question. That why is it that where the president come from, his own state, they have killed and almost annihilated Hausa tribe from 2015, and they call them bandits. They are not bandits. There is nothing like, go to dictionary and check the meaning of bandit. They are not bandits. They are Fulani herdsmen, and they give them a different name. They just use it to give different name to to different region. They are all Fulani. It is the people that is sponsor. They want to wipe away Hausa people in Katsina State so that they will take over Katsina State. And the other day, 30 people were killed in Mr. President's hometown and in his state. 30 people, 30 Nigerians, 30 human beings were killed. And what did the president say? For you to understand. And this is how they kill them all the time. To the extent that in this same Katsina State, the governor met with the leader of the bandit and took picture with him. And a military man is seen standing by the side. A military man is seen standing by the side. The governor is seen standing by the side. And the leader of the bandit were seen carrying AK-47 and standing with the governor. And he was not arrested. But as I'm talking to you today, there are IPOB members who are still in Nigeria prison, in Nigeria police detention, for no crime. For no crime. For no single crime. But a bandit came to negotiate with the governor of Katsina State, and he came with AK-47. And a major general in Nigeria army was seen standing with the governor, and the leader of the bandit was there carrying AK-47, and they negotiated and nobody arrested him. They allowed that man to go back to their hideout. And then you come to tell me that it is not the government that are sponsoring them to kill all the other core Hausas for the complete conquering of the Katsina State. Are you telling me that is not what is going on? Of course, that is what is going on. And then what the president said today will shock you. He said, Katsina killings, don't retaliate. Don't make out a capital punishment on bandits. This is from the news. Buhari came to say this presidency, because like I said, we are not be calling him name. It will be referring him to as presidency. Presidency say, don't make capital punishment on bandits. Don't retaliate against bandits. And this is a president of a country telling this to people from his state. This is not in Igbo land. This did not happen in Biafra land. It did not happen in Yoruba land. It happened in his state, in Katsina. And that is this cleansing, the grabbing and conquering of the land. In his own state, they want to wipe out the core Hausas out. And
it is happening. In case you don't know, the killing in Katsina State is now is approaching the killing in Benue State, because Nigerians don't know what is going on there. They kill every day, and they kill core Hausa people. That is what is going on in Katsina State, where the president come from. And the same thing is going on in Kaduna. In Kaduna State. In Kaduna State, the killing in Kaduna State is targeted at the southern Kaduna people. Even the killing where this Azakazi in Zaria is a systematic annihilation of core Hausa people who are living in Zaria, who are member of the Azakazi movement, and they are annihilating them. Because if you read the history of how Zaria was conquered by this Fulani herdsmen, right? Fulani people, you read the history, you find out that the war continued now because Buhari, this man, came in to become the president. Immediately the war ignited, and they started killing the core people, the core Hausa people in Zaria. And if you don't know, Zaria today have their own. There is a government. There is a separate government in Zaria, operating in Zaria, controlled by them. If you go and research what I'm talking about, and nobody is hearing it, operating a different government in government. It is happening in Zaria. You see? So, what we are saying is that the disintegration of Nigeria is something that every reasonable human being in Nigeria must support. Because with the country that I have mentioned, for example, what led to their disintegration is this kind of crisis that is going on in Nigeria today. And the countries are living in peace and they are doing good. And the same thing must be applicable in Nigeria. They should apply disintegration in Nigeria so that even if Nigeria is going to break into 10 countries, into 5 countries, it is worth doing to save life, to save properties of people, and to save Christians. This is what I have come to tell you this evening. Also, I want to read something that one professor who is from the north, a very we talked about professor in Kaduna State, in Zaria, and his name is Professor Yusuf Dankofa, from the Faculty of Law at Ahmedu Bello University of Zaria. That man have this to say, and I will read it. I think the North is only interested in power and nothing more. The sweetness of power and allure to bring is what appeals to them, and not to work. If not, how can a region be so disseminated by its own internal contradictions and drudge on as if the region is not regressing? In the face of calamity, what you see is area silence, since power is with their elites, who are thoroughly dependent on public treasury to survive. The poor too draws happiness from the fact that power is in the hand of their elites, even if they will die of poverty and insurgency. We are happy that is with us, even though we don't know what to do with the power. This mindset will definitely lead others to seek to move out of the union. You don't slow down your own progress and those of others and expect them to clap for you. And this is exactly what has compelled us to start agitating for disintegration and for freedom of Biafra. Because the North claim that they are owner of Nigeria and that they are born to rule. And as they are ruling, they are not interested in the progress of Nigeria. They are not interested in progressive. They are not interested in innovative. They are not interested in anything other than the power of ruling Nigeria. And that is why today the World Bank is ranking that the poverty of Nigeria, the people who are poor in Nigeria, 87% are in the north. And 13% are shared by southwest, southeast, south, and the middle belt. Can you imagine that? And believe me, in the southeast, nobody is poor. Everybody, every family is feeding 3 times a day, including those that are in the village. Nobody in the southeast today that is as poor as that they cannot have food to eat in Biafra land. So these 13% that are being shared now from the south, southeast, and southwest, I don't think Biafra will have any share in that. Now, to confirm what this professor said, to confirm that what he said is nothing but the truth. Now, listen to what the youth leader of Arewa Consultative Forum have to say today. Alhaji Shetima, the national president, Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, is a member of the coalition that wanted Igbo people sent packing from the north in 2017. According to the report, according to what this Shetima said, he said the North cannot release power to Igbo man. The North cannot release power to Yoruba man. The North cannot release power in 2023 in confirmation and in accordance with what that professor said. And these people has been ruling Nigeria since 1960. From military president to this to that, they have been ruling Nigeria. And there is nothing to show for it. Because they have nothing else to do other than seeking for power and subjecting their people to poverty. But the good news, like this Uwasofia Obazi said, there is no 2023. And that is the fact. Nigeria cannot see 2023, but they will fight to the last drop of their blood to see 2023. But guess what? The middle belt, the south, and Biafrans are coming together to disintegrate Nigeria. Mark my word, it is happening. Because the same thing this professor said is what that is going to happen. Let me read his conclusion. This is a professor of law, University of Zaria. He concluded by saying, let me read it again. You can't slow down your own progress. Meaning that the North, who are now power mongers, who claim that they own all the power in Nigeria, cannot slow their own progress, which they have slowed down by becoming 87% poor people in Nigeria. Of the total population of Nigeria, they have 87% poor people in the north. That they cannot slow down their own progress and those of others. And as they are slowing down their own progress in the north, and then they are slowing our own progress, the Biafrans, which is why you don't have any road in Biafra land. And when you ask them, they will tell you, hold your leaders, hold your politicians in the Biafra land accountable and hold them blah blah blah. Who hold anybody accountable in Nigeria? Nobody does that. Nobody does that. You don't hold anybody accountable in Nigeria. In Biafra land, we are going to be holding people accountable because we will be in control. Now, he continued, you can't slow down your own progress and those of others and expect them to clap for you. We cannot be clapping for them. We cannot be clapping for them when they have brought Nigeria down. Not only slowing down the progress, we cannot be clapping for them when the security architecture of Nigeria has been compromised. And today, Boko Haram is in the army. And today, police are killing. In Delta State, it is official that the army participated and followed herdsmen and attacked and killed people in Delta State. Official. It is official. So, anybody that is supporting Nigeria, if you are supporting Nigeria today as a Nigerian from the southern part of Nigeria, even though you are in the government, you can support it secretly. But what I'm telling you now, if you are supporting Nigeria today, you are not just only evil. You are not just only witch, but you are demonic. Do you know what is witch? Witches and wizard. Witches and wizard is not only those who fly in the night. If you see what is going on in Nigeria today, and you are in Nigeria, from the southern part of Nigeria, at least I'm not going to the middle belt yet, but from the southern part of Nigeria, and if you are supporting one Nigeria, you are not only witches and wizard, you are demonic. Because nobody that is sane that will be supporting one Nigeria, knowing what has happened and what is happening today. And knowing that the security system has been compromised. Knowing that Boko Haram is in the army. Knowing that Boko Haram is in the police. At least from the southern part of Nigeria, we don't have Boko Haram people. We don't have anybody who is a Boko Haram member. So we can still manage our police, our army, and our security apparatus without being compromised. That is very important. Very, very important. So the issue of whether Nigeria security will be overhauled, whether there will be restructure, it doesn't work. There is no restructure because the people you are restructuring are still there, attacking. Like I was watching one video where a Northerner, because all of them are speaking up these days, a Northerner came to say what we have been shouting since last year. The Nigerian military, you have never read anywhere in the news that Nigerian military attacked Boko Haram base in Sambisa. It is always repel. They are repelling. So they are waiting for Boko Haram to come and attack, and they will repel the attack. And then Boko Haram will come and ambush them. And sometimes they will bury the soldiers and nobody knows anything. So support disintegration of Nigeria. Like you see, this I have read. Now I have taken you to Soviet Union. I have taken you to Yugoslavia. I have taken you to Czechoslovakia. And tomorrow I am going to take you to a new country that disintegrated and they are doing fine. And Nigeria is at that point now that disintegration is the only solution to save your life. Remember that those of you who have properties, the same thing in this country that have disintegrated, they also have properties before disintegration. For those of you who have businesses in Nigeria, in any part of Nigeria, and you are afraid of this disintegration because of your business, it doesn't affect your business. Remember also that in these countries that I have mentioned, that a lot of them have businesses in that country, and they disintegrated, and international law covers everyone who have property during this time of disintegration, since the disintegration is going to be according to international law. You will be protected Your business will be protected. Your properties will be protected. The only thing is that you don't need to start doing business there, because for the first 5 years after disintegration, of course, some people will be very angry. Some of the country that will emerge who don't, for example, the Arewa Republic will be very angry. So anybody that is from Biafra and you are doing business there, you must be on your own. It must be at your own risk. But you can do business in Yoruba land, Oduduwa Republic and all that. But those who are in the north will be there at their own risk, because they can never forgive you at least for the first 5 years. So it must take a very long time when they have balanced, and you can go back there and start doing business if you want to go back there at your own risk, because you are going to Islamic State. It's just like Saudi Arabia today. Not everybody will go to Saudi Arabia and be comfortable as a Christian. And not everybody will go to Dubai as well. Even though Dubai is not a religious country like that, you can't go there and live and be comfortable because of their rules and their laws and all that. So support Nigeria disintegration as a Nigerian, as a business person who own business in the north, who own business in the southwest, who own business everywhere in Nigeria. Support Nigeria disintegration. When the Nigeria is disintegrated mutually, this whole thing will be put into consideration and international law applies. And we that are Biafrans, if you are Biafran, we that are agitating for Biafra will make sure that your properties and everything you own are protected. It is assurance. It is not just promise. Thank you, and let the preaching go on. Good night, and thank you for watching me. Share this video to others. Remember to subscribe, like my page, subscribe, so that anytime I come online, you'll be able to have notification. Anytime I post the video, you'll be able to have notification about my new video, about the update. So see you tomorrow again. I'm going to be live tomorrow. Thank you. Good night. Have a nice weekend.